Hey guys, welcome to the Whitetail Anonymous podcast number 9. Today I have one of my friends, Jeremy Johnson and DJ Flynn on. They are part of Woodline Outdoors. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Woodline Outdoors, what they have going on, and just a little bit about deer hunting in southern West Virginia. What they're doing this time of season, trying to get stuff ready and get ready for the big season, chasing big deer with a bow. Jeremy, DJ, say hey to everybody.
Hey everybody, this is Jeremy. What's up, guys? This is DJ.
All right, cool. I appreciate you guys coming on, listening to me ramble for a little bit, and to tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Jeremy, I guess you can go first. Tell us a little bit about you, man.
Well, as you know, my name is Jeremy Johnson. I work for CSX Railroad. As of now, I'm a welder for them. This year, I picked up a couple more leases. It's been kind of time consuming, I guess you could say. I've got a lot of properties.
It never ends, man. Especially when you got multiple properties.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can pick up on a big buck this year. I've got a couple good nice ones coming in on trail camera. Well, they dropped their horns about 2 weeks ago, which was kind of rare. I've never had them hold that long. But it's looking promising this year. As of my standpoint, I really don't know what DJ's got going on his side, but I've got quite a bit of stuff out right now.
Well, good. DJ, man, tell us a little bit about you, man.
Well, I'm just your general, blue-collar country boy, I guess. I'm living in a small city now,
Yeah.
I grew up in the country. I live in Cabell County now. I hunt mostly southern West Virginia, southern Ohio, and, I'm a family guy. I got 2 kids of my own. I work your normal 40-plus hour a week job, I'm a machinist, my general trade.
Okay.
And I'm just one of those guys that enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it every minute I get, what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you both. And that's why, guys, when we first started this podcast, one of the biggest things that Josh and I wanted was, real people. We want real people who get out and chase these deer and put their time in. And that's what Jeremy and DJ are. We want to hear their stories. And I know you guys are part of Woodline Outdoors. Give us a little brief. What is Woodline Outdoors?
Well, Woodline is it's actually been around for a long time. Me being an original member from probably 10 years ago when we started off with just, basically just a bunch of good friends just going out and having a good time, the outdoors are supposed to be. And, we just went out. We had the old cheap, camera gear and all that good stuff. And, we just go out and have a blast, just video and everything.
Back in the good old days, having fun, man, before it got too serious.
It was nothing serious about it, It was us and the outdoors, and we had equipment to go with it,
Yeah.
But, it played its part for a little while, then it fell to the wayside, a little bit. And the past 3 years, we've gotten serious with it, we've brought new people in. We've just really taken off with it, and we try to make it serious, but yet we make it fun.
Yeah, the way it should be.
And Jeremy come on 2 or 3 years ago, and he's really putting it together, and really enjoying it himself and making something out of it. And we're just having a good time doing it. And it's nothing like chasing deer, chasing these whitetails with family and friends, and just getting out there and capturing all the moments on camera like we try.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly there with you. I've always told people my favorite part about whitetail hunting is the adventure of the whole thing. You're there with friends, new areas, just being out in the wilderness alone, and I just enjoy it. I don't know, it's weird that's just my high of the whole thing. Being with friends, family, and chasing big
yeah.
whitetails.
Yep. That's what it's all about, man.
And that's what it is. It's exactly what it's all about. Now I know, guys, if you can go check out Woodline's page, I like it. They got a lot of good stuff going on there. Now, Jeremy, I know me and you have a lease very close to each other in southern West Virginia. I know y'all are looking at some other ones there. We're in the early season. We deer hunt 24/7, 365. Trying to get this stuff done. What are you guys doing right now to get ready for the season?
Well, right now, me and the other boys got that lease. It's a timber company that has the property, so it's been select cut for the last, 10 years, I'd say. There isn't really a whole lot of mass on the property.
Yeah.
It's all been timbered.
Yeah.
There's a lot of poplars and stuff like that, but there isn't any oaks or very, very little beech trees. There isn't hardly any type of trees that produce, the nuts that the deer go after that's on that property. So what we've been doing since January, we put a feeder out, just trying to see what's on the property.
Yeah.
And just getting them to come in, and we just started mineral sites 2 months ago, and they've been tearing the mineral all to pieces. We got some ungodly bear that has been showed up. Probably pushing 400 pounds. There's one I know he's probably 400 pounds. There's two he's 300 pounds, and the rest of them I'm not real sure, but I know they're legal weight, to shoot. But
what kind of we're eat up with bears too, and I'm right. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but hopefully you guys take a couple bears this year. I know the guys on my lease are, but it's getting to be a problem in southern West Virginia how many bears there are.
It's ridiculous, man. It don't matter where you go. There's bears. Like right here at our house in Lincoln County and around the area, there never really was a whole lot of bear here. You'd see one or two, here or there. I never got a bear on trail camera in this area until last year, and I had 6 bears in one holler, and they tore up everything I had. Tore up trail cameras, ripped my ladder sticks off a tree. They just came in and tore up everything. And
they're nuisances.
They just became a problem, and a lot of the people in this area that don't really, scout year round, have trail cameras out, multiple trail cameras, they don't know the bear population here. It's out of control. Yeah. And me myself, the bear is a hard animal to kill.
Yeah. It's not just show up in the woods and there he stands. Especially over no bait or nothing like that, doing it 100% legal. It's a very complicated thing to do.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like you can hunt deer on a feeder in West Virginia on private land, and if you're in your stand, that bear comes in, starts eating the feeder and tearing it all to pieces. You can't do nothing about it.
Can't do a thing about it. And it's last year before we combined our big lease, I had a certain part, Josh had a certain part, and on Josh's side of the lease, he had maybe 4 cameras running, and we had 11 to 13 confirmed different bears on a 500-acre tract. Wow. And that's not even seeing the rest of it. That's 4 cameras on 500 acres.
We have 239 acres, and there's 7 on that.
So it's crazy, and how many of them there are. Are the bears wearing your mineral sites out too?
Oh, they're tearing it all to pieces. They actually lay in it and just waller around.
Wow.
And when the bears show up, the deer don't come around for days.
Yeah.
And the way the bear have been doing it, and they also do it here at the house, like those bears will disappear for 3 weeks to a month, and then they'll pop back up. And when they pop up, they'll stay for a week to 2 weeks and be there pretty much all day long, every day. And when they're there, there's nothing else that comes in.
Yeah. Then ain't nothing else from bears.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. I know on our lease we've had to go away from. I'm used to North Carolina. We use a little sweet feed in our minerals to get the deer into it. To attract them to it. But if you put anything with any kind of scent, smell, even the hint of a smell, you got every bear in the dang county on it. We've had to get back to using just Trophy Rock, Trophy Rock 465, and Deer King because it doesn't have that smell or taste to it. And that's about the only thing we've found to keep them off our mineral sites. Yeah, so,
I just had to actually replace one of my trail cameras that was on my lease because I had a bear. Like I had a picture of it, the bear came up and was looking at it, and then the next picture, my camera was turned sideways, and it was still taking pictures, but it ripped the whole front of the camera off of it, and then it chewed on the top of it.
Wow. That's crazy. What are you guys using for minerals over there?
Browntown Industries.
Browntown Industries.
It's made here in West Virginia. He's a real good friend of ours. A guy named Ross Mellinger. He's a great, just straight-laced guy. Can't beat him. And he makes some great products.
Yeah,
he has the mineral and he has the seed.
Are y'all using that for your feed supplement as well?
The mineral?
No, are you using his feed for the feed supplement as well?
Oh, we haven't got it planted yet. We had one last year. Last year we didn't really have nowhere to plant them.
Yeah.
This year is when we first got these leases, and the weather's been so jacked up here in the state. You know, you're kind of afraid to plant it right now.
Yeah, I know. You get cold to hot, cold to hot.
I had frost on my truck. What was that last week, DJ? It was frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know
80 degrees.
80 degrees this week. I know it's been wild. Now, DJ, what part of the state are you mainly hunting? Are you hunting in Wyoming County as well, or are you around?
Well, this year I'll be in Wyoming County. I've done most of my hunting the past couple of years in basically Lincoln County and Cabell County, and then of course over in Ohio.
Yeah.
You know, over in Ohio the past couple of years I've managed to come home with some really nice tag soup. You know.
Yeah.
Because I get too picky over there sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you never know. That next one to walk out could be a 200-inch giant. So I mean, you got to.
That's just it, man. You know, you let some of those go. 1 week and the next week you don't see nothing. So you know you kind of pay for it.
Now in Lincoln, now are you noticing the same issues with bears in Lincoln County that we are in Wyoming?
Yeah, we actually have a lease in Lincoln County, and you know, we had, like Jeremy said, we had a lot of bears there last year. I actually got more picture of bear activity than I did the whitetail, and you know, they were running my whitetail off. Wow. I mean, it was quite irritating when it came to that. They were wearing my mineral out. I mean, I had about every creature out there in the wild that came into the mineral and watered in the mineral site itself, but. You know,
one of them things. So, you know, I kind of hope that maybe the West Virginia Department of Natural Resources or the Wildlife Commission, whoever, will hear everybody's complaints on these bears. And it's not just you guys. It's not just me. Every person I talk to in that area is talking about how terrible this bear population is. And hopefully they can put in a spring season and do something else to reduce them. You know, it's getting to a point where it is a problem. Not to go on off a tangent about bears. We all have those issues where we hunt. You know, in the early season prep, Jeremy and DJ, you getting your minerals out, you getting your cameras out, are y'all hanging stands yet, or are you trying to figure out where to put them, or what do y'all got going on with that?
Son, I'm already set up. I've got my blind set up no high. I've got the cameras up no high. I've got my stands hung in West Virginia. I've got 3 sets of stands hung in West Virginia already, and I think I've got 7 mineral sites out in West Virginia.
So you're ready to go.
Oh, son, I made up with it. I do it all the time.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, dear. 365, 24/7. What kind of stands y'all using? Y'all hanging double sets for filming, or you self-filming, or?
Yeah, we've got, we try our best to, you know, have someone with us.
Yeah.
But, you know, the way, you know, we're not paid hunters, so, you know, we got some of us are work, some of us ain't. And, you know,
it don't ever work.
Get go with them. We try to find a spot or go to one of our spots that are, you know, even if you're in a tree, it's a little bit easier to film by yourself if you ain't got nobody. But
yeah.
My spot that I've got no high, it's all field. There is 0 trees on the property. It's all just one. It's 16 acres of nothing but field and a couple of brush pickets.
Really?
And yeah, it's not my land. It's a girl that I know. Her family owns it. It's only 16 acres, but it's looking very promising this year. Like I'm really excited for it.
No,
I got 5 deer that made it last year that were poking young, and 2 of them could be pushing Boone and Crockett this year.
Holy crap! So you got some monsters walking around. What county is that in?
Gallia County.
Gallia County. There's some studs that come out of there in Scioto. I can't remember if I even said that correctly. However that is, but there's some giants that come out of those counties there. Yeah, we're getting to that point where we're getting ready. It's been having 2 kids playing baseball. I'm a little bit behind the curveball in West Virginia. We're actually coming up, not Mother's Day weekend, but the next weekend after. We're gonna get a lot done up there. How are you guys splitting up your time from here and there? You know, are you rut hunting? Are you hunting all year whenever you can go? Or are you going to Ohio at certain times or West Virginia certain times?
Just trail cameras don't lie, man.
Yeah,
you go off of them.
I agree 100% on that. you know, I've been bit by the bug of the cell trail cameras. You know, I'm gonna have about 6 or 7 of them running this year, and they're gonna tell me exactly where to be.
Yeah, well, we ain't got that luxury. We're still driving from point A to point B to see which one. But
hey, I tell you what, man. You know, it's a lot of cost up front, but you know they do end up paying for themselves in the end. And I've you know saving gas money, especially where I live in North Carolina. I mean, I'm 4 hours away from my place in Southern West Virginia. You know, if I can get some MRI, you know, I have to check them cameras, and I know when to be there. It's worth every red cent I pay for them.
You know, Wyoming County's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive for us, and we're in West Virginia.
Where are y'all in the central part of the state?
It's more towards the
Southwest.
Yeah.
Midwestern, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, over in that way. They're what are you doing? You know, not
we're
to go. Go ahead.
We're closer to Ohio than we are Wyoming.
Okay. So you're not far from the Ohio line there. One of my buddies is on the lease with me, and he's actually a calculated member, Justin Stanton. He lives up in Buchanan, West Virginia. Up that way.
He's up above us.
Okay, on up above you. He's got a bit of a haul down there too. Jeremy, what are you doing? You know, I know if I put a flake of corn on the ground, I got every bear in the county and my camera's gone. What are you doing to keep these bears out of your feed and not tearing your stuff up? I mean, what kind of feeders are you using?
We actually, me and my buddy, the one that's on the lease in Wyoming County, made some gravity feeders out 55-gallon drums. We cut a slot out at the bottom and built a tray and welded it onto it, and welded some 4-inch spikes on the top of it, on the back, on the top, and welded a 1-inch spike on the bottom so it would have that lean. And, you know, the bears have smacked it, they hit it, they've done everything, and they've not hurt those feeders yet.
And, you know, Josh and I have almost gotten to a point where we refuse to feed if during the summer months, and we really don't start feeding again until mid-October just because the bears are so bad. Are you guys feeding year-round?
I feed year-round, mainly because it's easier for me to keep track of what deer I have and what deer I don't have.
Yeah, true.
And I can watch them grow from the time they start popping up until they're done. And I can also, you know, I can help them grow. You know, putting that corn out, the corn's not going to help them grow. But wherever I put a feeder, you know, I've got my mineral there. That's Alpine Industries. But I'll go above that too, and I'll get some Purina blocks and the Purina pellets.
Yeah. They seem to be working pretty good. They seem to be hitting them pretty good. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Jeremy, you were talking about the Purina pellets, and I asked you, are they working as good as they claim to?
Well, it's actually the Antler Max. I just kind of forgot the name of it there, but well, I mean, last year when I started putting it out with the rest of the stuff, you know, I had a 3-year-old 8-point show up over in Ohio. And when he first came up, I could tell him he had good genes, and he was starting to come out kind of wild. And when I seen him, you know, I was like, man, I gotta do something. So I just kept pouring it to him over there. And by the time growing season was over, he probably, I'm gonna say he was a mid-30s, pushing maybe 40s.
Yeah.
At an 8 point.
Yeah. Oh wow, big dude.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what he grows on this year, because I've not stopped, you know, pumping the nutrition to him.
You know, last year was our first year on the lease in southern West Virginia, and a deer we were chasing Double D. If you looked at our page, you know who Double D is. He's a freaking mega giant. I hope this year, I think he was in the high 60s, low 70s last year. 2 big drop clubs, and we've been pumping the minerals and feed and everything this winter to him. So I'm like you. I'm like a kid in the candy store when I pull that first camera in July, August, and see what he turned into.
I know. I'm excited to see about mid-August a buck that's on our lease, what he's going to be. Cause he was probably mid-60s, pushing 70s, and he was probably 3, maybe 4-year-old deer at most.
Wow, you think?
Really tell. I couldn't tell a whole lot because it was where he was run down and beat down, kind of sagging and stuff like that. But I could tell he wasn't a really old deer. He was at least a 3, maybe a 4-year-old deer. And I don't even really know how to explain it. I'm just excited to see what that deer's going to be.
Yeah, if he's a 4-year-old 160, I mean, you might be talking some big numbers there. I hope you wish you luck getting on that deer. They, one thing about southern West Virginia is the leases we have. They have these big roads going through them that a lot of people ride their 4-wheelers on. And unfortunately, that it tends to lead to theft and issues and damage to property and stuff like that. Have you had any issues on your lease there, like we have at ours?
Yes, I have. I pulled up tracks out of the road, or that borders our property. It's actually our road, but there's another property that borders it, and I've gotten traps out of season that people come up and put traps up, and plainly there's posted time every 20 feet.
Yeah,
you can see they come up and like whenever they're setting their traps, they'll take their trash and just literally set it in front of the tree with a posted sign.
Wow.
And we've had some trail cameras stolen. I've gotten pictures of people out of season trapping, but you couldn't see their face.
Can't do it. We've come to the conclusion that the warnings are over. If we catch you, we got a picture of you, we're going straight to law enforcement. And, and it's just, and I get the arguments for some of them. We've hunted this land forever. Y'all come in here with money and lease it up. I get where you're coming from, but the fact is we paid for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the fact. And it's legally ours. And, and there's a couple older people that ride up there, and I wouldn't say a word to them. They don't steal my stuff.
No.
They ride their 4-wheelers with their wives, and I ain't got a problem with that. There's a man that comes in and out of that squirrel hunt my place. I can't stand the tree rats anyways. If he wants to shoot them and eat them, have fun, man. But we had some issues. We've had a stand stole. We had a lifeline stole. We've had 3 trail cameras stole. I had a lease in McDowell County before my Wyoming County, and they stole everything we had. And
my lease actually on the McDowell, Wyoming line.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if that tells you anything. Now, DJ, have you had any of these issues in Ohio or anything like that?
Not this past year. Usually, when I hunt Ohio, I usually end up hunting public land over there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many acres of public land in Ohio. Don't get me wrong. Everybody and their brother hunts it, but out there, you just got to be willing to go deep.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to put in the miles on the feet instead of parking beside the road
and walking 100 foot in there and putting up a stand.
Yeah, you can't walk 3 or 4 flats and expect somebody somebody not to walk in on you, So
Yeah.
there's many occasions last year, where I hunted over there and I got in pretty deep, and I had some encounters with some nice deer over there last year. I usually do climbers out there because it's just it's a simple and easiest way that I can go in and out, and hunt different locations because, like I said, it's public land. I know general areas where the deer I've been seeing was at, but
Now I know we had Nathan Killen on about a week ago, and if you never heard of Nathan Killen, look him up. Dude's is just a slap plum killer, and he talks about hunting public land in Ohio, and he mostly hunts public land, and some of the ways he finds these places to get on these deer. What are you doing to find these places? I mean, you reading maps, you looking at topos, or are you just taking a chance and scouting it? I mean, what are you doing?
I do a lot of research on the computer when it comes to that public land over there. I'm a big blind hunter.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not talking ground blind. I love going into a spot that I've just looked at on a map.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went over Wayne National Forest last year, and the day before I planned on going over there, I was just like, I'm gonna look through this topo map here and just check it out. I looked, and there was a couple other guys from Woodline going with us, and they had an area they were already going to. They knew it, and I'd never been to this certain area, this general area.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm gonna go to the other side. So I get my map out, and I'm just looking on the computer, and I was like, man, this just looks like a good spot. But I got to measure it out, and I'm like, man, that's like a 2-mile walk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'll do it. So I walked back in there, just going in blind. I had no idea what, those topo maps a lot of times are not really up to date. So, has it been timbered or anything like that? Who knows? You're going to find out when you get there. So,
yeah, you walk 2 miles in, you're kind of stuck once you get there.
Exactly. I get in there, and I wasn't in, I had a camera guy with me. I wasn't in the tree for 1 hour. I had an encounter with, I'm guessing 140 class deer, and
yeah,
wasn't able to put it all together, but still, going into blind like that and having those encounters, man, it's just on that public land. I love that. I love getting out there and putting on the miles, and
yeah. And more like I said, the adventure of it. Going out to a place you've never been, and chasing mature whitetails.
Yeah. As far as you said, as far as how I scout and stuff, yeah, I mean, there's a few areas over there we kind of repeat hunt, and we do go in there and hang some cameras, do a little scouting, but I do a lot of going in blind, looking at the topo map, seeing a general area that I think the deer's traveling, go there, hunt it, and I've had occasions where, like I said, I've went in and I've had deer on me from daylight to dark, and occasions that I went in and never seen a deer, but go back to that same place, next week, and it's just hot traffic all day long. So
yeah, I mean that's something. Guys, not to cut you off right here, guys, we are going to do a part 2 of this podcast right here due to upload times. Hold on, this podcast was brought to you by Nationwide Deer Sense. We are proud to be part of the Nationwide team. If you're in the market for deer scents, please check them out, nationwidescents.com. They are the cleanest, purest, and most reasonably affordable deer urine and scents on the market. Again, check them out, nationwidedeerscents.com. And there will be a part 2 of this podcast recorded with Jeremy Johnson and DJ Flynn.